Good morning once more. Good morning once more. Big up to Africa. Big up to good morning to Salone. The rest of our neighboring countries there. This now the early morning session, the early morning coffee. I don't say we start the regular cowboy way, even though we look solid. But we get the tea and the cigarettes now the hand. You know? And now finally Tasmo disguise himself, you know. So one second, when I buckle up to lecturing day, history as well, what public gets from the universities, because they barely teach anything there. You only know about the United States, but not much about Germany, etc., etc. So brace up tight. Later, as we take 1, 2, 3 puff the regular way. Love me for me, accept me for me. Now the competence is not important, not to the loyalty and the thing to Tasmo, but the competency. So as much as my competency up there, and that's not for value. Big up to that one step. Welcome back. Another great day. A Friday passé. Another great day, Friday. We hope so we'll get, a trainable day. That's what I want to talk about. A trainable day. The message for train. Good morning to V-Time. Always on time. Big up to you. Good morning to you. My brother always show me love V-Time. Always on time. I think Sabi don't see that commercial day once on AYV. But lately I not connect to AYV, so I barely not can see what's in take place at the TV stations them, But I'm pardon that. So big up to now once more, my neighboring countries there. History Day today, a good day, a blessed day. I want to bless this day with me more to Allah give me, with the ideas that will Allah the pour upon me. And I believe see myself for poor and power, Africa as a whole, we're not going to talk of the one day within the diaspora. They can limit some of we also in the diaspora about history. So we're not going to talk of Africa, Only people there we want to make sure say Africa becomes solid, can come back and reinforce and try to make sure say the grassroots understand and embrace history. We want to embrace whole history with Tuan, So now that's what we're about from the get-go 2 years ago, and that we start. We never bend, we never linger lost, history, issues there, and the music, etc., laughters them, always the same 4 or 5 different, attributes them. So big up to that. Later, we now they take the book, tell you thank you for joining me this morning. And it's all about Germany. Now one country, or we can say a state, where everybody believes in a saint, no one they commit. But, all the Europeans, them really don't commit. We can to the blacks, them, the Africans, them. They all don't commit. And also, what you hear, the first thing about Germany, you might just think about the Jewish. What's in the Jewish people they don't undergo. But I want to make clear you understand, say, what's in the Jewish people they undergo, the blacks they also undergo inside Germany the same time. So we can't be in the pieces, globally. Now we are the people them. The blacks, we don't suffer the most. I don't make a comment before that, the Jewish them, they probably get worse than we. But myself, my knowledge not be go further it. So I want to take that statement back and reiterate my words them. We the Africans them, we don't undergo the worst than any other race, in the world. I want to point that out clear. So big up to that once more. Hello, starts this properly. The blacks them where they inside Germany will not care for which time. If you're not a student, pick pen and paper. If you go for the presentation about history or about black history, this is not something you can able to take or capture and make your own presentation. Another guiding tool. So the Afro-Germans them, known as the black Germans them, whether now citizens or residents, of Germany, originally from sub-Saharan Africa, around the 18th century. And what they talk now, we're on the 21st century. So when they talk of 18th, 19th, 20th, 24th century, You go think say a far or long ago, but not too long ago. Not too long ago. The numbers of them black people there starts to decrease after a while around this 18th century. You know, there's a gentleman, and I will elaborate as I go, but I want to remove the foundation first. You know, there's a gentleman by the name of Frederick Williams, the founder of Brandenburg African Campaigning in 1682. Frederick Williams, founder of the Brandenburg African Campaigning in 1682, as it's spelled. He ordered the establishment of the front on the coast of Ghana. And all they talk of the establishment of a front in the coast of Ghana, now like, you know, a seaside. You create some type of a military base, a front, you know, where you be able to make sure, see, whatever slaves they capture, they be able to put them inside ships and migrate them, go inside the need for gold. So this frontier will be very necessary because the Europeans them or the Americans them be doing the same thing, and Germany not be doing the number one left being by this race. Well, I know what we discussed also last week, what Mussolini be saying. You know, now this creates the conflict for World War I because they be the threats for the Africans too. So Germany, you know, as the new world power doing internally, the best place that they go locate themselves now inside Ghana. And when I know say Ghana be rich, you know, inside Ghana, now they didn't go build a front. So let me continue. For rival with the Europeans, you know, because the Europeans and they get also a great sea power. Great sea power means they get vessels then at the sea, ships them, submarines them, etc., etc. You know, and what are they control the sea? They control anything where they migrate. You can able to create your own tax. You know, so I make up to now people in the feds for them, you know, oceans there or then seas there, you know, without own certain territory. Because what goods they can pass, you know, you can able to create your own tax, you know, or inspect. Now you can allow what you can go out or in. So a very important way it comes to the sea. Well, now we continue. So they create this frontier, and the front name of them again now Grub Fredericksburg. Grub with the G-R-O-B, Fredericksburg. It will be designed to serve as a point of departure for the German slave trade. Again, you know, then it creates this frontier, you know, this frontier as a departure for the German slave trade. German slave trade. So not just the Americans or the Europeans them, but Germany also be involved by the slave trade. I want to make clear you remember that. Don't not remove Germany from this. This is when they talk of bloody spill inside Europe. You know, when I don't know what's going on with Wagner and, you know, Prigozhin, whatsoever, you know, this mutiny thing, you know, how the Wagners, they don't, you know, look like they don't become independent, you know, and now, you know, Putin to go after them. Well, all them things are a reflection. So what the time reach, you're going to know what's in for doing. Now that's somebody see. Well, now let me continue. So then slave ships there, such as the Frederick the Third, they transported a lot of slaves them, thousands of slaves them to Germany. You know, a slave ship named, you know, Frederick the Third, transported thousands of African slaves there to Germany. St. Thomas, now be the prominent slave market in the world inside Germany. St. Thomas now be a prominent slave market in the world. You know, even though other markets can be there, they go inside America, but St. Thomas now be another prominent slave market. You know, where you want to go buy slaves, you know, just go there. So before World War I, beaucoup black people there, but they reside inside Germany. So what do they try for states now? From the 18th century, blacks there, but they live inside Germany. Since what the white man can't start for take with people them or with Africans them, you know, cannot go, you know, overseas for go sell them as a product, you know, as a tool or whatsoever. Since the 18th century, blacks them, you know, let me say, we just on the all over. America now, Europe now, to go inside Germany. And around World War I, beaucoup blacks them be done there inside Germany. as much as inside the UK or inside America. You know, some, they say from Africa, some also from North and South America, and some from the Caribbean. So all them places they are blacks and they migrate to go inside Germany. I wonder why. Maybe they may think, say, a more peaceful, a more law-abiding, more equality, you know, etc., etc. Because people then they move away from hardship. So then go now the wrong place, but they not be know. They not be know. They enter Germany. So during World War I, beaucoup blacks be did it. During World War I, what's happening inside Germany? Since Germany don't start to become the world power, or they lead the world, then create what we call limited international travel and migration. Limited international travel and migration. Now nobody allowing people for just travel freely. You just to go to any country, you know, as you desire. Now they don't begin to put restrictions to them for obtain a visa, a passport, you know, authorization system before you enter any country. So their limitations they are start again during World War I. But I go tell you, say, with history, those are the first 10 limitations there are be done day. Because it don't take what man be the first themselves for land, property, etc., etc. Let me continue. And this limitation here, it starts around or in 1914. The German imposed strict migration rules. After World War I, the immigrants living inside Germany not be get again any way for leave the country or for left the country. You know, all the foreigners still, all the people and we reside inside Germany after World War I. And during World War I, don't forget they also use the African system. The Europeans and use the African system for First War. The Germans they also use the African system for First War. So the Africans then be there on both sides. Whether or not be the enemy side or the opposition sides, you know, but then just be there on both sides to fight. You know? So the Africans, they not be matter. It not be really matter, but they not get any choice but for hold the weapon and fight. So after World War I, they not be get any chance again for left Germany. They not be get any chance for left Germany. You know, stuck in Germany. Then policies then begin to, you know, amplify. That's how I put it. Policies then begin to amplify inside Germany. And the first way start with some policies there, when I know see now Hitler. Don't just put them straightforward like that. As soon as Hitler, you know, begin to take power or take control of, you know, governance, you know, a whole lot of different policies then come into place. But we'll get to that. The erasure of the Afro-Germany. You know, if you're not students, you know, pinpoint this objective. This is not another variable. So we can say a variable. This is the number one variable. The erasure of Afro-Germany. Do a research on this, you know. The erasure, what in that mean? To me own basic knowledge. The erasure. We go depict it as for delete, for get rid of, for trash, for kill, or for discontinue. In my own words. The erasure of Afro-Germany. Well, it starts around this period, after World War I. Now, be a gradual process. Now, listen keenly. You know, it happens after some harsh conditions them and some laws them, will, you know, governance or the Germany or the Nazi people them don't start for place during the regime. The Afro-German population begin for decline during the Nazi regime. Now listen to this. The Afro-German population begin for decline during the Nazi regime. That means the black people and population begin for reduce during the Nazi tenure or regime. Not just the Jewish people or other race them. Starting out first with the blacks, you know, during the Nazi regime. The Nazi representing the National Socialist, you know, political party or movement, you know, then rose or they came into power inside 1930s. So inside 1930s, they came into power. Say 1931, 32, 33, all them policies they have don't become effective. All the murder them, all the killing, all thing, and within 3-4 years, they be able to accomplish all. So much man ready for be wicked in only 10-20 years old for be wicked. Small time period, they can able to kill or destroy so many lives. Now we continue with this talk here. So in 1930s, Adolfo Hitler came into power inside Germany. The Nazi Party been known for its extremeness in nationalism, racism, and totalitarianism. Nationalism, racism, and totalitarianism, excuse me. And this totalitarianism, what we would define it as authoritative. Nationalism, all men live in they do things in common. Nationalism, just like what I explained last week about the Indian stuff, how they want their own preference or their own religion for be a national thing. No one wants the Muslims them for create any corruption inside India. So now the same nationalist movements will take place inside Germany. I just want to make you understand that's what we talk of, nationalist or nationalism. Racism, if you understand what's not racism, person hates the next race just because of your color or etc. etc. And totalitarianism, then we can just say straight authoritative. If I be submissive, submissive to the state. The state's there in control. What in the state say, na nef court. So the Nazi Party be totally extreme in then three variables there. Totally extreme in then three variables there. Worse than what's going to take place inside America with the KKK. But only Allah knows. Well, now let me continue with the message. So in the 19th century, now we don't switch to the 19th century. From the 18th to the 19th century. Blacks and still be they live inside Germany. Whole lot of them. But when the Nazis came into power, they begin to harass them black people there and starts to prosecute them black people there. The Nazi regime, what did they do? They start to promote the most devilish or evilish idea possible. They call this ideology the Aryan supremacy with the Aryan. The Aryan supremacy. What's in this Aryan supremacy represents inside Germany at that moment of time? Well, them believe say they're entitled for rule the rest of humanity. And that's them believing. Them entitled for rule the rest of humanity. So them feel like so all the German or the real German blood, they're more supreme or more better than any other bloodline in the world. Now them for rule humanity. So now that's make them create this, Aryan supremacy, Aryan. So continue. And the aim, what's in this Aryan supremacy be aimed at the Nazi regime or Hitler in convoy, as we can say. They be aimed for purify the German population through eugenic and racial policies. I'll go explain this. They be aimed. Welcome back. Today we need for hold tight and patient. I hope say for Musa we left off. We will just continue from there. I want to apologize once more, to we people that already follow the page, where they listen to this, historic, history and message were very necessary for we youth man. So let me continue based on this eugenic and racial policy step what the Germans can create for purify the bloodline, And what do you mean for purify the bloodline? Only Germans, true Germans, your grandparents them or your ancients them for be the lineage of German. If you mix with any other race, to a true German, your blood a mix. So you can be persecuted. You can be held accountable. So let me continue. So this eugenic and racial policy would then begin to create this eugenic now for arrange the reproduction within human population. Eugenic, which is for arrange the reproduction within human population. How for arrange the reproduction of human population? Whether now if no one's black and white for born picking together or they mixed race there, because that's where they take place. The white woman or the white German stem, be they involved with the black male stem. They not be want the mixture of things there. They be want a pure German blood. So not be want a mixture of nothing or nothing. So they begin to create some kind of policies there how to arrange, the reproduction in within human population. Most craziest idea. The most sick man can think then thinking there. Because the gods the way creates, we then think are the most beautiful thing they create. Different race them, different people them, different languages them. But they want make a strict, creation or arrangement based on reproduction of human population when it comes to genes or bloodline. So then people are they already crazy. All the talk of them white people there. All the Europeans, they already be done crazy. They all be they go mad. Mad for what thing? We don't understand it today. But Allah go lead we. Now let me continue here. So anybody wanna be a non-Aryan or excuse me, I have to pronounce the word again. Aryan with the Aryan or Nazi. Anybody wanna be involved as an Aryan or a Nazi, to part of this, people there or this bloodline, then consider you Jewish, Roman, Senti, homosexual, disabled, or an African descent. So all the other variables that I just give you so now, and then people there that they exclude. If you're not a true bloodline of German, that means you're not a Jewish, you're not a Roman, you're not a Senti, you're not a homosexual. Then nobody allow homosexuals there as well. And I'm glad for that, Now one thing I will accept say, then do well correct inside Germany, they will intend it. They're not be allowed batty boy business. They're not be allowed batty boy business. So I respect, I don't let I respect. So Jewish, Roman, Senti, homosexual, also they discriminate against you. If you're not a disabled, then born you become disabled, well, they will kill you quick. You not get any worth, you not get any purpose, you not get anything for live for. Because you're not valuable. They persecute them. And being an African, big up once more. Now let me get it the signal strength a little more time for pickup. Hopefully we're not gonna lose, members still. Big up once more, big up once more, big up once more. If you end up for miss this live episode, since we get difficulties them, you go watch them after I don't deliver them, So you're not going to get there mishaps there, So now that's make the patients more for complete compile them, as one episode. I don't want to do 2-3 different episodes them, So when I bear with me, it's strenuous on my own side, but I determined for convey the message. So now I'll continue once more. So all them groups there, or them grace there, or them people there, they isolate them, then judge them, then classify them, then persecute them, etc., etc. And they were considered inferior. And when they use the word inferior, you are less important, less valuable. You're not equal to the person with inferior, but you are less, inferior. So inferiors them become targeted, and become excluded and persecuted inside Germany. Only inside Germany. Now let me continue. This period, when I listen to this, the Nazi policies became more extreme. And we still talk of now the 19th century, because we don't come up from the 18th century, within the 19th century. Within the 19th century. Then policies there become very extreme. They start to create laws them where they make black people end up inside prison. And then laws that they begin creating inside Germany. Policies them, laws them, we go put black man them inside prison. And for them, mistake commit small, or you look somebody the wrong way, or you pass the wrong side, or just because you black, they go lock you up. And this they take place in South America. And up to now, they take place. Certain states, then certain jurisdiction, as long as you black, you go suffer the consequence. Tasmo experienced that. So not anything new to Tasmo. Well, now let me continue. So then creates the laws there for put black people inside prison. Also, then go dement or then go corrupt some people there so much that they go end up in a hospital, a psychiatric hospital or a facility, or a concentration camp. If not to a psychiatric facility, because you don't get mental issue, They go carry you go like a concentration camp. And when I know say the concentration camps there, mostly what's in the world know, now for Jewish people there. Now only Jewish people there, they be put on a camps there. But not lie. Even the black people there, they go inside the camps there. The same way they kill the Jewish people there, and the same way they kill the blacks them. Nothing will be different. They be one gets rid of the blacks. Actually, they fear the blacks them more than any other race. Because the blacks them they mix quick with the German females them. The German females them be like the blacks them, they be born with the blacks them, they be married to the blacks them, but we'll get to that. And as time progress, more policies then come into place for stop all things there. Because they want the purity of German blood. So, let me continue. Many Afro-Germans also, they forced them inside the military for fights during the war. When I know say World War I be done, in order to say World War II start. The Africans are also fought that war day. The Africans they fought all the war. Yeah. You know, World War I, World War II, the Africans then be did it. They forced them to go join the military. And when they were fought at the front line, they still face additional discrimination and mistreatment at the battlefield by the Germans still. They still be they mistreat some black people there at the battlefield, at the front line. You know? But I believe say some black man will be there, he must pull you or he gets you before they fire. Because say they go look number one going German, he back a left one bullet spur, you know? But he back a fire and go, but at least he back don't kill go one or two. You know, I believe say some black man and be there will be the kill go one or two. You know, when them two pass smack by them, it's over me at the buck. At the buck. So the tells so at the buck me. One episode, only one episode. We're not gonna make it two today. We're not gonna make it two. We'll go we'll complete this, huh? You know, I lose me followers there, you know, when they try to observe this live, you know, because we get there with mishaps there, but I understand. But me go continue for do my own part, you know. V-time, I know say you always there with Sweetie. Big up to that. You know. So I hope say we left off, Dan is still retained at the media. You know, if anything or anything missing by this presentation, I will come back and reinforce by certain information we probably missing. But let me continue with how we left off. You know. So the Germans are the front, the Germans but they still mistreat or maltreat the blacks at the front line. We come to the war. World War II. And a lot of, you know, Afro-Germans then died during this period also. A lot of blacks, now Afro-Germans then. A lot of blacks then died during this period. You know, a lot of blacks then died during this period. And this, now one of the main or the first decline, you know, we'll go point finger pa. So now one of the causes then this, you know, what allow or starts for make the black race starts for decline inside Germany. You know, the war now one, you know, then kill a whole lot of black people in. So now we continue. The Nuremberg race law. The Nuremberg race law. Another objective, if you're a student, you know, with the Nuremberg race law. Write this down. The Nuremberg. Sorry for my pronunciation, but as much as I can try to pronounce the Nuremberg race law. Anyway, let me continue. The Nazi regime declared this law inside September 1935. Nuremberg race law. I won't pronounce this name here, you know, but I know able to get them properly. But anyway, the Nazi regime then declared this law here, and it came into effect September 1935. This law, they put it in place because of the Jewish term. But anything where they can put, you know, in place for the Jewish term, just no say they follow suit to the African term. You know? So this law came into effect in 1935. It affected the black stem and the Roman people them. Or they talk of the Roman people them, the Italians there as well. And during this period, anybody who not to be Aryan or Aryan descent or a Nazi descent, you know, the country they call on you. That we are called. When I say that they call on you, if you not say a German, policy be there where they don't call on all man for report. Report yourself. Go show yourself. Go identify yourself. We want to know you. So if they get any cause for detain you, for lock you up, for kill you, that telling them they go arrest you or detain you. So let me continue. During this period again, they're calling people here, and the law also known as the Rich Citizenship Law. The Rich with the R-E-I-C-H Citizenship Law. It's stated, listen to this lawyer, what it states. A German citizen was of German origin or related by blood. The law was to exclude non-Germans from political rights. Now listen to this, so I want to repeat this statement once more. This Nuremberg law, also known as the Rich Citizen Law or Citizenship Law, it states that the German citizen was of German origin or related by blood. The law was to exclude non-Germans from political rights. So if you're not a German, or your bloodline not related to any German, of German descent, the law, they exclude all from any political rights. And when they talk of political rights now, the rights to education, the rights to school, the rights to medical, the rights to freedom of speech, the rights to vote, etc., etc. All this now political will or political rights, So they exclude all man who not to a German blood, based on the laws there. And the law also forbid the intermarriages or sexual relations between Germans and any other race, between Germans and any other race. So the law forbid any intermarriages or any sexual relations with Germans. So you don't forget any sexual relations with any German. Female now, una do me. Yeah, tell do me. See, I say yeah, tell do me. We don't come back live, And I don't want to make me want to capture that, but anyway, big up to that once more. I still now, and I still follow. We still patient, we try for train, try for get this message across with one episode. Then another second law came into active. And this other second law, and for the protection of Germans, the blood and the German honor. I guess the protection of the Germans, the bloodline and the honor. It's all about Germans. And what's in this second law again? And for forbid any intermarriages. Let me continue. And then law they aim for prevent the black people totally the black people go for marry any German. They're also concerned about the Jewish Totally enough for